Clay is the world's most popular type of cat litter, but it has some drawbacks. Today, we're comparing clay and tofu litter to see how they stack up in all the categories most important to cats and cat parents. We'll go over tracking, odor control, price, and more. You're probably already familiar with clay litter, but if tofu litter is new to you, we have a whole video about it, which we'll link up here. My name is Charlotte, and I've been a cat parent for 27 years. I'm here to help raise the standard of living with and caring for cats. If you're a cat parent, go ahead and click subscribe if you find these videos helpful. Now let's get into it. Our first category is eco-friendliness, which includes how the litter is sourced and how it's disposed of. Unfortunately, clay litter is not very good for the planet. It's harvested by strip mining, which can destroy habitats, contaminate water sources, pollute the air, and cause erosion. Clay litter also takes up a lot of space in the landfill, where it absorbs moisture and expands when wet, basically turning into cement. On the other hand, tofu litter is quite eco-friendly. It's made from soybean fiber, which is a natural byproduct of soy milk manufacturing. It's also totally biodegradable and flushable. Of course, it's always important to remember to only flush your cat litter if your cat is kept indoors, not fed a raw diet, and your local regulations allow. There is some concern about the spread of toxoplasmosis, but we'll link a video on this here if you'd like to learn more. With all of that being said, it's not a surprise that tofu cat litter wins when it comes to eco-friendliness. Tofu litter also does well in health and safety because it's made from a natural food byproduct. Technically, some brands are even safe to eat, but we don't recommend that. Clay litter, however, does have some health concerns. The main issue is crystalline silica dust, which the CDC considers a carcinogen if inhaled. Some clay litters are less dusty than others, but all will contain some silica dust. The other concern is that, in theory, clumping clay litter can cause blockages in a cat's GI system if ingested. This is most worrisome for cats with eating disorders, but cats who lick clay litter from their paws when they're cleaning could also be at risk. That's another point for tofu litter. Ease of cleaning. Anyone who's used clay litter knows that it can be a nightmare to clean off the litter box. It cements itself in place and takes forever to scrape off. On the plus side though, clay litter has great clumping. In contrast, tofu litter is very easy to clean out of the litter box, but its clumping is slightly softer than clay's. The tiebreaker is that tofu litter is flushable. Again, pending that your cat meets the requirements to safely flush, which makes cleaning a breeze. This category is a little closer, but tofu wins again. Odor control. We've spent a lot of time researching odor control, and we've found that clumping clay litter is actually pretty dang good at it. This is probably because how tight the clumps are. Many tofu brands include some type of natural deodorizer in their litter, but soybean fiber itself doesn't control odor as well as clay does. That's a point for clay litter. In this category, it's no contest. Tofu wins by a mile. Clay is literally a kind of dirt, so it makes sense that it's dustier than soybean fiber. In terms of tracking, tofu litter also comes in smooth pellets, which are way less likely to stick to a cat's paws than clay litter. The pellets are also larger, so they're harder for cats to kick out of the litter box. This is an easy win for tofu litter. Paw-friendly texture. Texture basically comes down to how small the litter particles are. Smaller particles create a softer surface for cat paws, so that means that clay has a slightly more paw-friendly texture than tofu. Keep in mind that there's a trade-off between tracking and litter texture. Small particles lead to more tracking and vice versa. Paw-friendly texture is a point for clay. Ease of handling. If you've used clay litter, you know how heavy it is. It's probably the heaviest litter material on the market, which makes it difficult to transport and a hassle to pour. By comparison, tofu litter is much lighter and comes in smaller bags. Not really a close one here. Tofu litter is much easier to handle. Price. As we've seen, tofu litter has a ton of advantages over clay, but price is not one of them. Clay is produced on a massive scale, so it's cheaper than almost every kind of litter on the market. We do believe that you get what you pay for when it comes to cat litter. But for pure affordability, clay litter gets the nod. Out of these 8 categories, tofu wins 5-3. But this isn't a blanket judgment. Remember, when you buy cat litter, you buy a specific brand, not just the litter. Comparing litter brands is the next essential step for finding the perfect cat litter. And we've done exactly that on our video of the 5 best clumping cat litters. Tofu litter and clay litter both make an appearance on that list. So click the screen now to see which brand of clumping litter we think is the absolute best.